Hey guys, my name is Sediak and welcome to episode 2 of Subway Builder, where we've been trusted to build our very own transportation company in New York City. We are building and hopefully trying to build a very, very successful subway transportation network. And we kind of started the first episode, by pretty much learning and understanding the game, doing the tutorial, figuring out how we can create our first line. I created this really, really long red line here called Park Avenue line. And then I started to build my second one, and I kind of combined them with this blue one that goes straight into Queens, I believe. But we did have a little bit of an issue. One of the fact is some of the buildings are a lot deeper than others, some of the terrain's a lot deeper, and at the same time, let me kind of put this into normal play mode right now. I think we had a slight issue over here where the train kind of comes in and cuts in. The crissy-crossy is a little bit of an issue for it, so we might need to kind of rejig where the bend is to get a full length of train in. But I'm not too concerned about that right now. What I'm really concerned about right now is just trying to earn enough cash so we can keep further expanding the network. Now, you guys loved the first episode so much. If you want to see another one after this, please smash the like button down below. Let me know if you want me to turn it into a little bit of a mini-series, and we'll do just that. I also asked you guys whether you prefer the dark mode or the light mode, and that is very bright, isn't it? A lot of you guys said dark mode, so let me know. Should we keep it dark or should we go light? Now, we have a little bit of a warning here. We have a capacity issue. A train 10 minutes ago was near capacity. This is on the blue line here. So I think what we'll do first is we'll grab the Dutch Kilns line and we'll go to trains. And what we'll do is we'll increase the frequency by adding one extra in each one. But we're going to need to buy more trains. So if I just buy, let me just buy another, how many is 50? It's going to cost me 125 million. We'll do that just so I've got the capacity then for enough trains to buy my next line extensions. So we've increased the frequency there, so hopefully that will no longer be an issue in the long run. You never know. Because that blue line connects the red and the yellow line, that's where you're seeing the capacity issues. But let's put it back into play mode anyway, because we're going to think about now trying to extend. So I've been giving it some thought, and you guys have really, really helped me out since last episode. And we've got to make sure that we try and alleviate as many pressures as we can. So you kind of want not loads of kind of crisscrossing of lines, but as many as you can where it makes sense. Now, we're going to use the red line here as being our main artery route going from north to south of Manhattan. And we'll bring this red line coming down, and we'll get it to kind of somewhat terminate down here. And then what we'll do is have this yellow line come down, and then we'll cross it to go into Brooklyn. And I'll do the same for an additional line. It's going to come down this way. It'll come down and cross into Brooklyn. And then off where it turns, we have other lines from Brooklyn that go over to New Jersey. And then we'll have more kind of crossing over. I've got a big plan and a big idea, but what I don't have is a big budget. That is very small at the moment. So we could do incremental increases or just slowly kind of build along as we go. And extend that red line, which I think will be perfect for us. Oh, and I also found out as well, guys, I can kind of slightly change the ticket prices. Is this true? Let me find where I seen this. I did see it somewhere. I think it's within cash. Because here you can see how much you make on the hourly and the daily. We've made operational profit, 423 million. That's really good. And this is where we set the fair price. What we're saying, I don't know whether $3 is too little, too much. I might up it to $3.50. Is that too much? Is there a sweet spot? Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below. But until then, until any other issues arise, we're going to extend the red line. Now, I feel like I might rename all the lines to the colors. Makes it a bit easier for me to reference and understand. But let me first view the demand. So we've currently over here right now, we've got workers. So if we continue to push down, maybe a stop around here, a good little worker spot there, will be perfect for us. So build stations, and I'm going to stick to the -5 at the moment, and then put you there. Right, that works gloriously. And then where am I going to be running this to? I feel like what we should do is build a station down here, But I might have a sneaky suspicion the station I built down here might need to be a little bit bigger than usual. Oh, also, there was a way to find out about the blueprint costs. I still don't know where that is. Is it here? No. Somebody said there's a way to find out how much a blueprint costs, but I don't actually see where it is. I'm not too sure. If anyone knows, please let me know, guys. Appreciate it right now. Appreciate it. I probably do need to find that out and figure that out because I'm building blind. I'm surprised it just doesn't pop up to say how much we're potentially going to be spending here. Construct all plans, even though I don't know what they are. Oh, is it right in front of my face? It's right in front of my face. Right, ignore me, guys. It's right in front of my face. This is why the comments really help, and I do appreciate it, guys. So it's basically the full-length station I've just built. It's 75 big ones each, right? So how much for a quad one? Now, let's figure out where the perfect position in here would be for maybe like a quad station. So that's workers. Sorry, that's residential, that's workers. So it's kind of within this vicinity. So having it along here, kind of you get the best of both because there's a few over there, mainly all over here, but they'll walk to it anyway. And it will be a crossover station coming through at the same time. So let's do a quad station. And let's build it. Let's just go. Ooh, okay. Might have to go a little bit lower. But it might also be down to the fact that it's so wide now at this point. It's so wide that oh, actually, do you know what? I'm not sure if I want it exactly there or down here. Because we can have the red line run into it. And then I can have another line come into it. That could crossing over. Something else come into it as well. Maybe that comes down there. And then I have a line coming down here that comes this way and in. So that goes straight. That goes that way. But then you need something that way. It could use the same platforms. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm just trying to think of a way to not have to do that. I think it might be a bit too adventurous for us now. So I'm going to undo that. And I'll redo it when I come to it. So for the red line then, is that perfect to go there? Or do I want the red line down here? See, the red line can come down this way into there. Because I can have another station there. But is that too many? It's a tricky situation, isn't it? It's how many stations do I want here? Ideally, I do want multiple. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build that there. Because I can always have like another stop over there as we bridge the gap. So it should work out. And I'm probably will end up eventually changing a lot of the routes. So this is just for now while I can make some money. So them two are in there, and that's going to cost me 150 million. So let's go fast forward mode so we can make some more money. There's another warning. Oh, I missed that warning. There was a split warning for a second there, and I kind of low-key missed it. So we know it's 75 big ones per station. So we're going to need another 75. Obviously, I'm going full-length stations, hopefully try and get the most radius out of all of this. So we're now looking for 225 is the next price we're going to spend. And we're going to follow this road going down. So my next stats that I want to now check is just double checking the stuff around. Oh, there's a big area here. Maybe that's where we can do a crossover point coming down. So I could bring that into there, but then there's residential down here. That's a crossing point. I feel like that's going to be a crossing point. So we're going to hit the residential and follow that road coming down. This is our main artery. Then everything kind of connects to it and off it at the same time. So I reckon here is a perfect station next. So if I build blueprints, grab another station, sticking to the -5 meters, I think that is pretty good for us right now. And if I ran that what are we saying? If I went there, I think that's okay to get the bend in. I think that will be all right. And there's a big crossroads here, so surely that's a big point there. Oh, hold on. Where did all my money go? Do they get did the things get committed when you build them? Oh, I think I might have committed to the build. Oh, pause. There is a train stuck. See, I knew I was having this issue. Is it here? Yeah, it's to do with this, because that kind of comes in. It needs a bit more space. So I need to redo that, unfortunately. I've got to this is an issue. So why don't I look at building and sorting out some tracks here? So you can't bend like that. And I'm not going to be able to come off this because of the stuff there. I feel like the station needs to be moved a little bit further down to allow us to have the room. It's a tricky one, because if they come in and they want to go that way, they're stuck. You know what I mean? Doesn't really work out that well. Now we can't do the elevation. Oh, is the elevation really low here? I'm sure it is, right? Let me go to -10. Or is it not like that? I forget what the elevation here is. There's no way to find out, is there? I don't think there is. Now that happens every so often, that problem. It happens every so often. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. I'm going to come back to that while I just kind of commit to all of this. So blueprints are at 75 million. So I'll build and commit to that one. Right, that's now all in. Let me now figure out where my next stop's going to be. So workers. So that's nicely in between those two areas. So you're looking at about round here, aren't you? There's a bunch of residential just here. So just there, maybe even on the Chrissy Cross, or just kind of start from there and push it backwards. That's probably the way to go forward there. So put you there. And then where's my next one going to go then? So next one, workers, residential. So we're going to follow this line going this way. So I think it has to go about here, right? It's more of a residential stop, this one. So around here is perfect, I reckon. So build station. Just there. And then is there room for one more, or are those distances a little bit too short? What do we reckon? What do we reckon? So there's nothing really there. There's this here, obviously. So doing something there picks up these guys, a few of them. Workers, a little bit out of the way. I think I'll leave it for now. So obviously I've got to now connect up all of the lines. And that can be quite expensive as well. So 150 million is what we currently got the cost to. So building tracks. And I'm staying at the 50. Staying at 50. Sorry, -5. Where am I getting 50 from? I have no idea. Right, I'm trying to bend this naturally. All right, that works gloriously. This should be a pretty straightforward run. That should be pretty straightforward as well. And then this is where it could get a little bit tricky. But I think we're going to be okay here. And then that connects to that platform there. Now, I know I don't need to do the crisscrosses everywhere. A lot of you guys said, Senek, you don't need to put crisscrosses on every station. Only really at the end ones. But I'm going to do it anyway. Apart from there, obviously. I'm going to do it anyway just because you never know what's going to be crisscrossing over, what's going to be treated as the end station. So in my head, if I make every one of them have it, that kind of future-proofs me. You know what I mean? Yeah, there might be some extra costs thrown in, but it kind of then future-proofs me. Right, this is an issue right now, isn't it? Let me delete tracks here and here. And I think it's because of that being so short. So if I did that and then add the crossover in, we're okay there. So the cost of this is 483 million, which is really expensive, right? Super expensive. Super expensive. But we can come back to that and then commit them eventually. But that's going to really now extend the red line. That really is. It looks a bit funky as it comes down and turns, but I'm following the roads as a way to kind of naturally progress through it. And then it gives me points where the yellow line will kind of come down, then turn, and then cross to go into Brooklyn. So that gives a natural crossover point there. We'll have another line that maybe uses it to kind of go this way. You'll have a line going through that way. Another line coming down that might actually be the route that kind of comes down to turn to go this way. So we've got ways in which we can cross over their stations. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Historic day, first train rolls through New York. After 7 days of preparation, New York's transit system brought... Wait, oh, it's only been 7 days in the game? I can't believe this is happening, says Lucia Kim. She can't believe it, guys. She can't believe it right now. The 94th Street line particularly impressed commuters with marveled that actually moving from point A to point B. Right, back to business. Right, interesting. It is weird seeing it come down and then take that little turn right there. It is really weird, isn't it? Right. Okay. So we know where the issue lies here. We're very, very well aware of this. But we are limited. I feel like the station does maybe need to be slightly moved down. But then again, it will then affect this. The issue's never here because there's enough room for a train to be waiting for the next one to pass. The issue's here. And the problem is the building work. I might have to redo that whole section, so it's going to have to keep complaining for a little while until we're ready to kind of literally sort it all out. Now, would we say that we've made more money by increasing the prices? It's hard to tell, to be honest with you. This is the revenue versus expensive in the last 24 hours. So we're kind of hoping that these are going to be pretty decent. So my balance over time, operational profit, we can't change this to like a daily, can we? Yes. So this is now daily. So what you want to see is more revenue because we've upped the ticket price. And you could argue it's slightly increased every day. But today especially should be higher than any of the other days because we've increased the ticket price by 50 cents. So it's all dependent on what we get from today. Yeah. That's pretty much what we're expecting. So here's our trains anyway. We're actually going to rename the lines. Lines, there we go. So it's just easier for me to understand and easier for me to reference them. So I'm just going to call this the blue line. There we go, the blue line, boys. We've got then the red line. Very good, very good. And then we've also got then the yellow line. It's just a lot easier for me to reference them and then know which is doing which and all that kind of jazz. Right, that warning keeps appearing, so I know that's a big problem for us. I mean, I could also set that up to like a dual station and have it split that way. That could be something that we could do, but it's quite a large investment, that. It is quite a large investment. So on the day so far then, this is the current day we're on. We are about to cross over to be our best day yet. So once it gets to 170 million in income or revenue for that day, we can say that it was a great... Oh, no, we didn't. So if anything, we didn't make as much money. Interesting. The profit was slightly down. I don't know how we feel about that, guys. How do we feel about that right now? I'm not particularly too sure. It does give me time to reevaluate the other existing lines. Well, the line that I'm about to build. Because I need... How much was it to commit to that build? 483 million. Now, it seems like a lot. But it brings us down into the heart of is it the financial district? This is where Wall Street is down here, right? This is where Wall Street is. So hopefully we see some big gains coming from this. Hopefully, anyway. So looking at the ridership right now, the yellow line moves the most amount of people, which I think makes the most sense in reality, because that goes for the heart of the worker area. And a lot of people do live up that side, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. But the red line should take over once I fully extend it. Okay. So, let's see then. If our operational profit here was 117 million, let's just say we're going to make the same again on this day. How many more days? Okay, so it's literally less than a day, or about a day in game, until I've got enough cash to commit to that line, and then for us to fully extend it. So I wonder how often we're going to keep seeing that issue. And I can't do nothing about it yet because I need the cash. But I don't know whether to make that a short... I can make that actually a shorter station. Because the issue is the building's here. Unless I do it like a double width station where there's two sets of tracks coming in and out. That could alleviate pressures. But it doesn't happen all the time. It's just that brief moment it gets caught by the other train coming in. The yellow train comes into here, and while it's waiting, it's blocking the blue train exiting to go that way. It can't go that way because the yellow train waiting there. You could argue the same here, but the trains aren't long enough. There's a train come to be able to wait, keeping that junction there free. You can't do something there to kind of help us. No, it's all about the train lengths. It's all about the train lengths. You can't do signals, can you? I'm assuming the signals are all pretty much automatic at that point. Right, okay. So while we're waiting for it to happen then. Guys, watch your eyes right now, okay? I'm going to go light mode. Just very briefly. Damn, it's so bright. It is so bright, isn't it? Holy moly. I think I prefer the dark mode. Right, we're very close right now. What is the revenue now saying? So we're on the next day. 166, that was 167, that was 169. Profit was pretty much identical to the previous day. But it's all about to change. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about the price. I am very intrigued to find out what you think about the price of all of this. Is $3.50 too much? Have I pushed it too far, you reckon? I don't know. So we've now got 1.4% of everybody using my public transport network. So that's amazing. That is amazing. We're reducing the amount of driving. But we will eventually need a lot more lines, a lot more trains. Yeah, having a line coming down here. I can see where all the lines are going to go. It's just money. It does just come down to... Oh, warning. Pause. So a train, one train at near capacity 8 minutes ago. Near capacity. Wow, it was overloaded. it was overloaded. So the yellow line is looking a little bit busier. We're going to increase stuff here. So I've added an extra train along all the routes in their moments. But then the same thing for the blue line. So the blue line, their trains, I could do an extra train in high demand. Just to kind of help us out slightly there. Right, I think that's going to be okay. Right, are we now ready to commit to this build? I think so. I think so. I've got an extra train which will increase the revenue slightly because there's now, you know, we can carry more people quickly and faster. It will increase the expenses at the same time. But let's go to build right now and the cost of this. So I need 483 million. And we are about to cross that line to where we can now build, bam, the blueprints. They're already complaining again about the trains at capacity. And it's only now going to get a lot worse. So the red line. I'm so sorry to do this to you. But, so you've got, hold on, boom. So that's 7, 8, no, 6. Hold on. I don't know where in this line this fits in. But I'm hoping this works. So 6 goes to 7. 8. Yeah, okay, that's now updated and that now works. That's a long line, okay? I can't express how long of a line that now is. And the gaps between stations becomes bigger and bigger. We're going to confirm those changes. And we are 100% not going to have enough trains. The red line's already at capacity. So add a couple more. And of course, now we need more trains. I'll tell you this right now, we're not going to win. Not only do you need the money to fully expand the line, but you need the money to add the capacity to the line. That's our next issue. Right, so let's spend 50 million there on trains. So we'll add another high demand capacity one. That seems to be the right way to go. But it's all about increasing the rate and the frequency of the lower medium demand. So I'll add one there, add one there. It reduces demand. Frequency is... does that mean every 9 minutes a train's arriving? I don't think that's good. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. Or does it mean every night, like it takes 9 minutes to complete the whole line? I don't know. I'm assuming it's every 9 minutes a train arrives, but that's just going to get busy, that line. Right, I need a few more, so let me just buy... there. Okay, that does it. So there's 9 on... That's wild, isn't it? But I think that solves the red line issue. I think that solves it right there. Very ambitious to go that big. Very, very ambitious. And I think that will work out for us in the long run. So the route ridership right now, we've a train... Oh, hold on. 2 trains stuck due to signal blockage. Red line, red line. Where's that? Oh my goodness me. Oh, I see the issue. I see the issue. How long's that been like that? Edit the route. I got to include you onto it. Confirm changes. We missed the one side of the platform. Ah, do apologize, guys. I do apologize to the residents of New York City right now. Now all my trains are at capacity because of that slight oversight on my behalf. Right, we're back in business. It's actually quite easy to fix any issues that do arise. So that's kudos. Kudos to the developer right there. It made it very, very easy to fix my issues. And there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of them. Right, near capacity on the red line again. So cars per train. We could add more cars per train. But I'm instantly out of cars. So I'm going to buy another 30. So that gives me a lot more capacity now per train. That actually might be too many. I probably, it's 10 at high demand. I'm just watching it to see those numbers change. One got really high pretty quick. But it's not often that happens, though. But it is very busy now, isn't it? How is that changing my revenue at this point? So my revenue is dramatically increased, as you can now see. Operational profit getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The red line is still complaining. We might need to give them bigger trains. That just might have to be a thing. If I'm being completely honest with you. It might have to be a thing. So we've got to solve that issue with... Oh, that red thing keeps popping up, doesn't it? It is an issue. Right, okay. Let me go to routes. Red line, trains. Let's do 10 trains per... 10 carriages per train. 10 cars per train, I should say. So with that issue... With that, then, I wouldn't need as many trains, you reckon? So just take a few off there. Because they're now double the size, double the capacity at that point, aren't they? It's just all about trying to find a balance. Right, I've got to solve this, though. This is a big issue. So I'm going to go blueprint mode now, and I'm going to... Right, I'm going to have to set it up where the blue line... Edit the route. Doesn't stop here. Confirm changes. The yellow line doesn't stop here. Confirm changes. Just so I can now delete... How do you delete a station? Is it possible to delete a station? Okay, I think because they use it, I can't do anything about it. Can I delete tracks currently used by any routes? Right. Okay, that hasn't gone to plan then, has it? That hasn't gone to plan. So, I don't want to get rid of it completely. But I might need to get rid of it completely. See, I didn't foresee these issues. But if I can solve them, then that would be amazing. So confirm changes there. We know that's not going to be an issue now. Or it could be that I change this blue station and have it turn this way. Right, okay, so that could be the way forward, actually. So delete. Okay, got to clear the trains beforehand. Right, delete all that. And then redo the station. So, would it be better to place it... Can't put it through there. I was going to say to turn it this way, but you've still got to go through all of this. That was the beauty of that. Wasn't it? Unless we... Is it too much to ask? Right, I've first got to check the stats and demands. Yeah, so I definitely want to be within this area. That's there. I could get rid of the yellow line just for a minute. So it gives me the freedom to kind of rejig it all. I do need to build 2 stations, but I can build the 1 station first and then put it all back in, get some money, build the next station. That's not a problem. But I feel like I need to split this. Or at least... But then the next problem comes, though. If I do ever make them trains longer, I have that issue. So you just can't win either way. Plus, I don't have the money for this either. Right, I'm going to leave that for just a minute. It's much easier to do like how it's set up now, Chrissy Crossy. Where it's just I could do it as a separate station. At a lower depth. But I don't like the idea of that. I want to have them all combined. I do want to do that. So let's just leave it for a minute then. We've lost the ability for them now to crisscross. I mean, I could bring it back into that station. But I've lost the ability to crisscross on the lines, which ultimately does mean I've lost a large chunk of cash then at this point. But I think it's vital for what I want it to do. So let me try something over here while we are waiting for the revenue. I'm not going to commit to building it. I just want to do a quad station. So if I did that, for example, here, I want to see how the tracks come off it. So it'll be a quad set of tracks. Now, what if I did build tracks and did parallel? Right, we'll do quad. Quad can go like so far, where you can then build a crossover. And then building tracks, I could do parallel coming off, say, like this way. Parallel going that way. But you lose what you're trying to gain. It don't work the way you're expecting it to. So I'm wondering if I just build tracks. Do you know what I could actually do? If I got rid... I mean, the crossover is irrelevant at this point here, isn't it? I think it's just a case of bringing the bend as close as I can. Do you reckon it's all about just bringing the bend as close as I can? It's a tricky one, isn't it? It is a tricky one. Let me just go like this. Add the crossover in there. And then I can commit to that with costs, right? It's not too ridiculous. And then the blue line. We edit the route. So obviously come into here. To there. And then back. So that rejigs itself so it understands what it's got to do. Confirm changes. And I don't know whether that's enough for it to figure it out. Rather than giving it more space, I've closed the gap. Does that make sense? I'm waiting for a yellow train to come down. Blue train comes in. Right, here's a yellow train right now. It could still be an issue. I'll see if that issue arises again. But But I feel like that's going to be another issue that I can't escape, unfortunately. I feel like I'm never going to be able to escape that right now. Right. Okay. Now, I could escape it by doing it different, but I don't want to do it different. Let's fast forward. And I wonder how often we're going to see that problem then arise. It might not never arise again, if I'm being honest with you. Right, so I do want to build another line now. I do want to get another one all set up. And it is super busy around here, and I feel like I want to kind of bring this coming down as well to where this will probably come down. So that line's going to come down here and maybe turn to go through this one. Or it could be this one I turn it on. And another line going across this way that comes down through there. But the turns will also be straight ons for other directions. So do I build a new line or do I extend the yellow line? I don't think I'm going to extend the yellow line yet because I don't fully know where it's ultimately going to go. That issue for the blue line hasn't arisen in a while. So we're now going to continue. So build a station. And we'll make this one... I don't think I can do this now -5 because it will clash with that. So this one I've got to make -10. So put that there. So it's -10, which I'm assuming now... No, okay, it costs the same. It costs the same. So if I try and... What's the best way to do this? Replicate where we're currently at. Right, build station. So one there, and I'll do one here. So here, I'm just literally replicating where it's currently at. Because if I bring a line going up, there's your crossover points. You've got one there, you've got one there. Although they do seem quite close by, it's going to be beneficial to have the crossover points. So that's going to cost me 150 million. Right, we've got a bit of cash to go the full distance here. So that works out. So I'm in that kind of really weird situation where I don't know whether these are too close or like they're too far apart. I'm not sure what the best way to go about that would be. But I'm going to replicate on this line. So going up to here. So it will be round about there. Again, if I'm running a line going that way, it crosses over these stations. That's what's important for us. So that's the last one I'm going to do. I haven't really checked demand on these, but I don't kind of need to at the minute because I know where they're kind of currently running. Station in the middle will be what the lines going that way would kind of low-key do. But I've now got to decide where I'm going. Is this the perfect opportunity to kind of bring it down onto this level or bring it down onto that level? These are the things I've now got to low-key decide. So I'm going to commit to those stations there. That's what I'm going to 100% commit to. So if I now go to the demand, workers, so workers not too much, it's more residential. But yeah, I think we've got to bring it down. Now do I bring it on this line? Yes. Do you know what? It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's almost like I know what I'm doing. So with that said, we're going to bring it on to this run here. Now, however that means I get that down to that is what I've got to do. It's what I've got to do. But that's how that new line's going to run. And we're going to make that the green line, by the way. We're going to make that the green line. So we'll get those stations in and we'll build each of the rail lines connecting. Now, I haven't seen that issue pop up. It could have done and I wasn't paying attention, but I haven't seen that issue pop up. So I think by shortening it has made a better effect. We shall see. We shall see. Now, people are coming to and from. So we're going to have 2 more lines, like I said, coming down on this side. So when this starts to come in and starts to pinch the yellow line in the middle, that's when we decide we turn the yellow line that way. And then that will overlap it and then come down that way. So the green line that we're now creating will make its appearance into Brooklyn over here. The yellow line's going to be over here, going into Brooklyn in that regards. So that's how we're going to kind of turn them in. And obviously, wherever their turn points are, we'll then do a line crossing over that way, so it becomes a new line to go into New Jersey. That's the idea behind all of this anyway. Right, so how much money do I need then? I need 450 million to commit to these stations, which it's quite a few stations. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stations I've now got planned, which is quite ridiculous, isn't it? It is a lot, but I have realised, and it's probably not a good idea, but I have realised I've made them all -10. It's not a problem. It means it's only because I've based it off this one. All the other ones could be -5 going the other way. It's something that we have to be wary of. It's probably now going to cost me more for the rail line, but it is what it is. Build the blueprints. Okay, back to build mode then. We're now going to set up all of the tracks. So bam to bam. Oh, hello. Spinning right round. Bam to bam. So just those alone is going to cost me 50 million. And that's all because we're -10. Ridiculous, right? Why did I choose to go so low down? I will never know. I will never know. So that's going to cost me now 105 million just for that little strip there. Now, I think we'll build this first and we'll get this line up and running straight away. At least we can be making some money on this before we extend further down. Only because it gets to our cross point there, crisscross. And that works out fairly well. So a few more monies. All good. Lessons are being learned right now, guys, okay? I promise you, lessons are being learned right now. Historic first train rolls for New York City. This is after 14 days, right? The 33 station network represents 72.3 million investment in urban mobility. I'm sure I've invested a lot more than that, but we don't, you know, you're playing it down, guys. You're literally playing down my investments right now. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Add the crossovers. Now, does adding crossovers cost any more? I think it does, if I'm not mistaken. So it was 118, 133. Yeah, okay, right. Guys, don't apply crossovers to everywhere. I've changed my mind now, okay? I've changed my mind on that. I'm not applying them everywhere. Right. We've got the green line all in place right now. I don't think any issues have now appeared in quite a long time. So let's see what my money's now saying. So we would have had a little bit of a dip, solely because I did delete some of the stations on some of the lines. But extending the red line, money's gone exponentially through the roof, which is great. I'm assuming that dip there is when I got rid of the line situation. Here's what it is, boys. Is what it is. But we have fixed things since. And now with the addition of this green line we're about to implement, this should allow us to now earn a bit extra revenue. So we can now commit to the blueprint build. There we go. That's now all in. So if I go ahead and just build the tracks in question, and this is where the real fun begins here. I've got to figure out where it makes sense to bend this. So if I just kept that there for a second. Now, in my head, going that way makes the most amount of sense, but I think it also might be a case of we're going to have to do like a little bit of a figure of 8. So would you say there's more space here or more space here? I think the space is placed there. So that's just what it has to do, unfortunately, to kind of implement said bend. That's just what's needed. Now, we need to add a crossover just there. So that is a commitment of 110 million, which actually, we're not that far off having to actually just go the full extent of the line. Okay, we'll commit to that. And there we go. Interesting little bend there, but it's needed to navigate the buildings to reduce the building costs. Right, let's do a new line. New route. It's going to be green. We're going to call it the green line. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I run out of colours. Oh, we can do custom colours. Okay, that's all good. Create route. So let me get right in over here. Green line. Edit route. Start there. And then make our way down. So we'll throw a little bit of a wobbler first until it realises how it works. It's got to go all the way down before it gets to the other crisscross. And then make our way back again. All good. Now, I've noticed it doesn't really matter what side you put the platforms on. The line readjusts itself for the correct side and puts the stations in the correct order automatically. So that's pretty good. Right, confirm changes. And now trains, I'm expecting not to have enough money to do all these trains. So if I go for 4, 2, and 2, and we'll see. When it starts to tell me there's not enough trains, then we'll change it. But I now expect the blue line to be even busier. And that's going to be the next thing now, isn't it? So people are now slowly moving over to the green line, which is good to see. Got those little red things moving over there. It is 2 a.m. in the morning, though, might I add. So demand is not ultimately going to be there. But now we've got these extra 2 lines, we can now start thinking about progressing them down to then do 2 more crossovers on the red route. Because right now, we've only got 1 crossover to the red route. Well, it's actually to all these lines in reality. And that's the blue line. But that's going to have so much pressure on it now. So once I can then make these crossover further down the lines, that alleviates a lot of the pressures. And eventually we'll have another one over here at some point as well. So it's a congestion game, I get that. It's what we've got to do. So we should now make more money on this day, he says, not very confidently. A couple of thousand people using the green route, but at the minute, there's not really anywhere major for them to go. The blue route's going to get a lot busier. And we've managed to now move the transit percentage up to 2.7%. But we're getting this area here slightly more covered, aren't we? Which is good news. Good news all round. You can see the amount of people right now. There we go. That's what I was waiting for, the blue issue. So this could be the next issue, because I've got the option now to increase the amount of trains, or let's go 6, 6, and a 4, or, right, we increase the length of the trains. Let me buy 30 there. Is that enough to solve it? Yeah, that puts more trains on the route. Because the train if the trains start filling up the capacity, I need longer trains, and that might cause us issues with the length going through here. Because they should be longer, right? We did that to the red route. And look at the length of the red route trains here. They're so much longer. So that's where we could have them issues arise again. If so, we'll have to think about something different. It could be a case of I build 2 stations there and we crisscross them. So that comes diagonally down, but it means you'll have to get some serious depth to build under the buildings. But it's not an issue that we have to deal with right now. But then again, the blue line should, again, find heavy release from having the other crisscrosses happening further down the line. I mean, we're also going to have another line. I keep spinning around right now, using the wrong ones. That cuts through here. There's going to be many, many cut-throughs. It's the only cut-through I've got right now, so it's the only one that feels the pressure. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Right. Are we seeing the good cash rolling in? We are. So my previous best day was just under 300 million on income. Not saying that I'm going to beat it today by any means, shape or form, but we're going to see how close we can get. But this is looking good. We've extended one line, we've fixed that issue, and we've got a new line in. This sets us up beautifully for the next coming episodes. If you guys want to see that, again, remember, smash that like button down below. This sets us up beautifully, might I add. Right, we're going to wait for this day to end then to see if we actually beat it. I'm going to wait until the day's actually over so I can kind of have a nice little surprise. But I'm not going to worry about that blue line. I know it's going to get better when we add more crossovers on other stations. I know it's going to get a lot better then. So no need for stress. No need to stress just yet. Right, the day's over. And then where did it end? You just about beat it. So that's a bit of an anomaly, that one there, because it was everybody at once. But seeing it has these, we're kind of plateauing at 280 something. Now we've got it up to 300. That's really good to see. Profit not too high. Again, we've spent a lot of money on trains and we kind of try and balance all that situation. Probably got too many trains right now on the blue line. You could probably argue that at that point. Drop these down to 3 and that of 5. And that probably works out better for us in the long run. But other than that, boys, I think we ain't doing too bad. You can now see how the network's looking from a further distance out. A lot more expansion still to do. But like many things in life, it all comes down to money. So next episode then, what we're going to do, we're going to try and focus, or that blue line's complaining again, we're going to focus on extending the, and I'm going to say the yellow line because that's in the middle. Further down, we're going to extend it further down and then find the point where it's going to do the turn to cross in to head towards Brooklyn. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do there. And then that will set us up nicely for understanding where the green line turns to head across Brooklyn. And then we'll sort out the junction on those bends that will head with 2 new lines into New Jersey. Then once you've got them fixated, we can then start to plan another line in the middle that cuts through. And then by then, we've got so many crissy-crossy points, the blue line doesn't feel the issues no more. He says, no more. Right, we're going to end it here, guys. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.